We are here at Wakanda State Park at Agat Lake, where the Lewis County Sheriff confirmed a man in his 70s is dead after he drowned in this lake right behind me. And as you can see behind me, crews are still hard at work trying to move all the grain off the road. You can see grain trucks are lined up on that road waiting to be filled and taken away. Snow continues to fall with high winds. Right now we are at 6th and Hampshire. We can see behind me the snowplow that did get stuck right in the middle of this intersection. Here on the Quincy Riverfront, water continues to rise and quickly. As you can see here at the Pier restaurant, since this morning, the water has made its way over and starting to go into the parking lot. I'm standing in the parking lot of the River City Mall in Keokuk, near where the stabbing happened. Now, right behind me, you'll see the Dollar General, which is right across from the parking lot. Today, the group Mothers Against Drunk Driving gathered here to pass out these red ribbons. When you get them, you tie them on your car just like this as a reminder to not drink and drive. Now, QPD takes this matter very seriously, as they say they lose too many lives to drunk driving. Snow continues to come down, but the real issue here is the wind. I have this yardstick here, and when I stick it in a drift right here, you can see the drifts are up to a foot. Now, I went out with them today as they were training for ice rescue, and they were wearing these suits. As you can see, these suits keep them warm from the cold and the water, but when you fall through the ice, you don't get one of these. Here at Interstate Battery, workers are still working hard to fix car batteries that wouldn't start today. They say the biggest problem here is weak batteries that won't start in the cold. Alexandra, right now you won't break your wallet when filling up your gas tank, as gas prices in Illinois are the lowest they've been in a long time. But tonight there's a proposal to raise that gas tax, something people here at the pump say they're not happy about. Veterans can come to psychologist offices like this one here in Quincy if they do need to receive help after returning home from combat. You just walked in the door, kind of explain what you walked into. You were just re-elected for state representative of the 93rd district. Kind of tell me how it was just walking into this. I know I just grabbed you.
It's just awesome.
Alexandra, it's going real well. People are continuing to come in and out and fill these buckets with all sorts of non-perishable food items. Since I've been here, all three of these bins right here have been filling up and filling up quickly.
Watched it burn. There was nothing I could do. They did everything they could do.
It's a sad day in Fort Madison as Rick Hawkins looks at what's left of his business following a fire that left Hawkins Auto Shop in Fort Madison a total loss.
And I just sat there and watched it burn till 2 in the morning. It's 37 years down the drain.
Hawkins says he got a phone call from a friend around 10 last night telling him to get to town as his auto shop was on fire and the fire department was on the scene.
It looked like they maybe had it under control and was about out, and then the next thing I know, it went up.
This is what the auto shop looks like behind me if you're looking at it from 16th Street, but I just want to move the camera and show you how close it is to this house right here, where residents say they were evacuated last night around 10:30. They say it was a very close call.
I've got to thank the Fort Madison Fire Department for basically saving the house.
Todd Shriver spent the day cleaning up debris, just thankful that he and his family are okay.
I've got an autistic child, and we just came home from my mom's, and my stepdaughter, she started crying because she's never seen anything like this. So, it's a scary situation.
Shriver says the minimal damage to his house is nothing compared to the debris and damaged cars next door, something that has left Hawkins unsure of the shop's future.
I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'm not ready to retire. I know that.
Sounds heard around town today following the storm that left the tri-states buried in snow.
I've seen a lot of people use snow blowers and shovels and stuff.
The snow has stopped, but the cleanup is ongoing, something Diane Fessler says makes for a long day as she shoveled all weekend.
Oh gosh, an hour and a half the first time, an hour the second time. This has probably been another hour and a half, so 3-4 hours total. If we hadn't done it the first time, it'd have been really even worse right now.
Fessler isn't alone, as Austin Crane spent his day digging out cars on the streets.
It's been, pretty good. I've helped quite a few people out, trying to get them out, and, as best as I can.
And if you go around town today, you'll see a lot of this, cars stuck all up and down the streets. That's why local tow truck services say this is a very busy day for them.
Hey, this is Jarrett with Peters Towing.
Tow truck drivers like Jarrett Bryson were busy pulling cars out all weekend.
I'd say I've probably done at least 10, and I still have 4 more people in line right now. We've had a lot of, people stuck in their driveways, or they do somehow get out of their driveways and then they're stuck in the middle of the road and, their subdivision, or people go off into ditches, stuff like that.
A service that Richard Strawn was thankful for this morning.
I was backing out to go to the store, and the truck slid into the ditch. It's been heck.
Kara Biernat, WGEM News, Quincy. In a white farmhouse in Detroit, Illinois, you'll find Craig Rush, a pilot who flew Marine One during George W. Bush's presidential term. And it wasn't long before Rush found himself flying the entire Bush family, including George H.W. Bush.
It was just amazing, I think, how good of people it seems like the Bushes really were. To be the status that they were, to be 2 presidents and have very successful careers before that, to actually be genuine and really want to talk to the people that are out there trying to make sure they're protected and get them where they need to go.
As Rush mourns the loss of the 41st president, he says there's a special memory he'll never forget. He was preparing the helicopter to return the Bush family to the White House from Camp David.
So as this little golf cart pulls up, and it's President Bush 41 and Barbara just by themselves. They pull up. They walk out to the helicopter, get on board, and instead of just going back and sitting down in the back of the helicopter, it actually stuck your head into the cockpit, and my co-pilot and I had this really interesting conversation for it seemed like a long time. It's probably just a few minutes. They were such nice people to actually take the time just to talk to us and thank us for what we were doing.
Rush says a flight like that is unforgettable.
My co-pilot and I are just have big grins on our faces. We're flying back to the White House, because it was just a great experience.
While Rush doesn't have any photos with George H.W. Bush, the many times he was along for the ride left Rush with a fond memory of him.
Yes, they're very down to earth, and you could tell that the family greatly respected him, as the leader of their family. So just to have a brief interaction with him was very special.